What is going on, everyone? Welcome to a stream which I hope holds up. Without going into the internet conversation again straight away, I don't know, it just looks really bad tonight, way worse than normal, but we'll see how it goes. At least you can still hear me. I'll put the audio up on Patreon as well for anyone that's signed up over there once we are done. But for anyone that's watching, I'd say now it's going to be extremely laggy. If it carries on, I might just stop it, but it was fine earlier. I did a stream for Scout, not an issue at all, but it's just all over the place today. I can see it now. Yeah, I'll decide in a few minutes whether I'm going to cancel it or not. Let's just get into it straight away. This is my team. Hasn't changed. No substitutes. No transfers, I should say. Sound is fine. Yeah, sound's always fine. I know. Sound's always fine. Okay. Who do I replace Luca Dean with? I mean, definitely not Castagna. Castagna looks like he could be out, right? Well, looks like he is out. Do I want to tweet that I'm live? I guess I will. I don't really want people tuning in when it's like this. So there's a guy called Gary Taphouse, football commentator for Sky Sports. He says Johnny Evans is out with a back problem. Castagna has a hamstring injury and is out until after the international break. That's a pretty big loss. So yeah, Castagna looks to be out. So definitely not replacing Luca Dean with Castagna. Yeah, I think Chilwell. I think Chilwell is probably number one choice right now. Not bothered with lag. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to keep talking about it. Like, you know the deal. I don't know why it's worse than normal today, but it is what it is. It's just annoying for any new people, really. It's annoying for everyone, but for new people that come in, this is the first thing they see. Just a lag fest. Super frustrating. I can see it now. It's just so bad. Don't know why. It's like something's being used on the internet. So my plans for my team are, I'll get to the super chats now, is to do Reguilon to Chilwell, to be honest, because unless there's any injury concerns tomorrow, like James Rodriguez maybe. If James Rodriguez is out, I'm not quite sure what I'll do, to be completely honest. I don't know who I know everyone will say Zaha, but he's not really in my plans. I mean, I could do it, but hopefully James Rodriguez is past fit. Nihao, Luca Dean, hold for this week. Fulham looks good. I think if you've got a better, end of the day, you can always hold a player if you think they're going to look good if they're part of your long-term strategy. Like, obviously Fulham does look good, but before that they've got to play Man United. So he's back for Man United, then it's Fulham, so you're holding him for Man United as well. So I guess it depends on your bench. Like, for me, one of the reasons I got rid of him because he wasn't going to be a long-term hold. But if you want to hold him long-term, yeah, there's no reason to get rid and just not use... no reason to get rid and just use one of your bench players potentially. Kuchi Mane, after Arsenal, Bruno in, bit biased, he's a class act. I don't. To be honest, I don't know if you really want him in, you can afford it. I don't really see that Arsenal is any more difficult than Everton, to be honest. So you could always... oh, that's annoying, isn't it? I need to use the other chat. Hang on. Let me get the other chat up. 2 secs. Act. Oh god, now I can hear double myself. Hang on. Okay. Kidal, thanks very much. Here we go. We're cracking on, don't worry. Everyone in Galway is watching Dundalk. They might be, yeah. Did you have to stream it, do you? How's it going, Adam? Son out for Basuma in. That can't be a serious question. Why was there no Castagna in fan news? Because it's not official yet, the Castagna news, I don't think, but that's what it sounds like anyway. Is Werner potentially on penalties? Potentially. That is all there is to it. Lampard's basically said Jorginho's got a pretty good record. Werner can take penalties, so can a few players in his squad. He's going to have to talk to the players, basically. So we don't know. Werner could be on penalties. That does kind of change the conversation around him a little bit. But I mean, right now he's not 100% on them, and he just seems like a lot of money to me. If Castagna's out till after the international break, you'd really have to have a good bench, I think, to hold him. Depends when you got him in. You could just go to someone like Chilwell. If you've already got Chilwell, you could go cheaper. Leeds, Aston Villa defender, maybe Reguilon for the next couple of game weeks. Is it better to use 2 free transfers on game week 8 or wait until after the international break? It really, for a start, it's next week, so don't worry about it too much now, unless it's part of your plans, of course. It's always nice to have 2 free transfers over the international break, but if you've got something you really want to do, I should have changed my bloody score at the top. Oh, I'm all over the place tonight. I even almost forgot I was streaming. I went to the shop, I came back, came upstairs to have a quick look at something on the computer, and it was only then when I realised I was looking back through my tweets that I tweeted that I would stream tonight, and I was like, oh Christ, it's like 5 to 8. I need to get online. So that's how close we were to no stream. And I can't remember what I was talking about now. What was I talking about? I've completely lost track. I don't know. I can't remember what the question was. What were we talking about? Someone asked me if Salah is... Okay, hang on. Gary, Salah a good choice as captain after City struggling? Yeah, my captaincy video is out tomorrow. Spoiler alert, I think Salah Mane are the better options than Kane Son, but there's not a huge amount in it. Someone asked me, is my Salah captain locked in? It absolutely is locked in, yeah. Look, we might get some news that might change it, but right now, definitely. Gorav, how is it going? 2 free transfers and can't burn. I know what you're saying. Watkins to Bamford with this Leicester team. Use Dallas to Kilman as will then have the funds to do Watkins, Kane, Basuma to Antonio, Brewster and De Bruyne for fixture swings. I don't know if I like Dallas to Kilman necessarily. I think Dallas to Kilman only if you've got plenty of other defenders and you're absolutely sure Kilman's nailed on, but I just don't know if he is. He could play the next game. Watkins to Bamford seems okay, although obviously Watkins' fixtures are better at least for the next 5. So it could backfire in the next 5. I mean, if you're 100% sure about doing that swap to De Bruyne, then yeah, maybe get the money now, but you could always get the money down the line. But I know what you mean, 2 free transfers. I don't really like that. I don't really like either of those transfers, but Watkins to Bamford, I guess, is probably the better one. But next 5 fixtures for Leeds, not great. But yes, if the Castagna and Evans news is true, it puts them much better for the Leicester game. Oh, hang on. Oh no. How's it going? Looking at no transfers to bank transfer, remove Jimenez to Antonio and Pereira to Grealish. Have Ayling on the bench for Luca for this week. Yep, sounds good. I think Ayling is a good play today. I know this week, obviously Jamie Vardy could do well, but I'd back Leeds to do something there. Rodriguez to Foden if injured. Yeah, could do. I'm not sure though. Maybe. Mane or Salah captain. Look, I think honestly, if you look at it objectively and you kind of disregard penalties, as it stands right now, Mane probably looks like the slightly better captain. But we're only judging this off a few games. Right? We know that in any given game week, Salah can hit a hat-trick. So if you've got both, then I do think you could take a bit of a punt and go... It's not even a punt, right? But it's a risk due to ownership. You could go for Mane. If I had Salah, I wouldn't be looking to use a transfer to get Mane, if that makes sense. So if you've got Mane or Salah, you just captain whichever one you've got. If you've got both, I think there is a conversation around captaining Mane instead. But it's not like I'm sat here thinking that Salah's a bad option, right? Just Mane's look very good, and the numbers look good for him as well. So far, XG better than Salah, non-penalty. Is Mendy goalkeeper? So Chelsea's Mendy goalkeeper an option? He is if you want to spend 5 million, yeah. I'd preferably rather get an outfielder like Zuma or... I mean, Zuma as long as he keeps his place, and Chilwell obviously will. I don't really see a reason why Zuma would lose his place. Seems to be first choice alongside Thiago. Is Kilman a buy? For me, if you've got 3 defenders that are looking okay this week, I would just try and give Kilman one more game. I don't know. It's that age-old thing, like how many games you give him. What if Saiss starts at left wing-back and Kilman starts left centre-back again? I just don't think it helps us at all. Because at some point they're going to play a proper wing-back, surely. Like Sice is not a wing back, so Kilman, like, he's cheap. He's not really a massive risk. But I couldn't sit here and tell you if he's definitely going to play. I just don't know. And like some people have strong opinions either way, but they don't know either. Do you know what I mean? Like I follow a guy called, and this wasn't a strong opinion, it was just his opinion, a guy called Bradley Parker, I think, Wolves fan. He's got Kilman in and Marcel left wing back, but I'm sure if you tweet him, he'll tell you he doesn't know for sure. That's just what he thinks. You know, it could be Marcel, it could be Sice left centre back. So, look, if you've got a spare transfer, I guess, and you want to get Chilwell in, I'm not trying to say it's a bad move, but there's no way you can guarantee that he's going to start. Simple as that. No one can guarantee you unless they have a direct line to Nuno himself. Tom, how's it going? Mane better underlying stats. West Ham concede most goals chances from their right, but Salah is on pens. Mane and unnecessary risk if you have both. I know what you're saying. I don't like to use the word risk when you're talking about captaining Mane. Like, if I told you right now that Liverpool weren't going to get a penalty, who would you captain? Like, the only risk of captaining Mane is that Salah does better. But that's the same risk if you captain Salah. I know, like, ownership is a thing, and you have to consider that. But that's not really how we should play. So if Mane's the better captain option, he should be the one you captain. But yes, Salah is on penalties. And I've said this on the captaincy video. I've said it on a stream I did with Sam earlier from FPL Family. Penalty takers are good because they can have a rubbish game and get one or two penalties in the same game, and suddenly they're having a great point score, right? And that's why we like penalty takers. But if you take out something that you can't predict, right? No one can predict when a team is going to get a penalty. Mane is probably the better captain as it stands right now, based on 6 games and a few underlying stats. But let's be honest, we have like 3 years worth of data with Salah. We know he's good, right? You know, and if he gets a penalty, like Mane could get 2 assists, right, like he did last week. Salah gets a penalty for one of them, and he gets a goal, and he's suddenly a bit ahead and well worth the captain. So, yeah, it's difficult. Chaz, how's it going? Captain Bamford this week? No, come on. Look, I will accept that Leeds are going to create so many chances that Bamford might be a good option, but I'm not accepting him as a captain choice to share. Why are you not answering questions for the people who haven't paid? It's not fair to ignore us. Look, a lot of people get ignored on this chat, and it's not through me like disliking them or not wanting to answer them. It's that there's over 1,000 people watching, and most of those people are going to ask a question, and I'm only one person. So, look, I think most people are fully aware I'm not trying to ignore people. Yes, I will always answer the super chats because it just seems fair if someone's putting their hard-earned cash to support the stream. But it's not like I ignore every other question that comes in. It's just one of those things, right? There's a lot of people watching. Also, by the way, slight tangent here. This is a green hoodie. So when I've worn it before for videos, it's kind of like had this weird thing on it because I'm obviously using a green screen. If you go like this, for example, you see this? This is like a turquoise bottle top. So it goes weird. That's not the colour it is. It's because I'm using a green screen. But for some reason, this hoodie doesn't do it. So there you go. That's what I do instead of answering questions. I talk about hoodies instead. Waiting for a suit. No, I'm only joking. Fozzie, how is it going? Jose, thanks very much. Or maybe it's Jose. Jose. Am I saving my transfer? No, because I've got 2 free transfers, so I'm definitely going to use one. Am I not considering Bamford for more pay? I'm not. I'm not really considering it right now. Right? So I don't think over the next 5 fixtures, this is going to come back to bite me, the Bamford is like a much, much better option than more pay. And so it's not where I want to spend my transfer. And what I will say is for this week, more pay to Bamford might be good. But longer term, I think Reguilon to Chilwell is a slightly better option. Yeah, no, I get it. It's dark green, but I've worn dark green hoodies before and it's not worked. So I don't know why it's suddenly working tonight. There you go. Anyway, I like this hoodie. I'm glad I can wear it on stream. Nice and warm, you know. Honestly, why do you watch these streams? Why do you watch these streams? I honestly talk a bit of rubbish about FPL and then just generally talk rubbish. Here we go. This is important stuff from Adam. On a side tangent from that, I finally had a skin on Kiwi. Finished the entire pack. What a revelation. There you go. For anyone that's not been watching the streams for long enough, you need to try Kiwis with a skin on. So good. So good. What's the farthest I've made it in the FPL Cup? I have no idea. No idea. That is one of the least interesting things about FPL, in my opinion. Obviously, people are welcome to like it, and if I got through to the semi-final... if I got through... I just seen that question from Matt. If I got through to the semi-final or something, maybe I'd take an interest in it, but I've said this a million times, right? Nobody, pretty much, right, especially people watching this stream and like people like me and content creators, no one's changing their strategy unless they maybe get close to the final to try and win the cup. So it's just pointless. It's just something you're in, and if you do well, great. If you don't, who cares? I personally, my idea, again, for anyone that's not heard it before, some of you who've been here for ages will have heard it, I would like to see them put in a system where you can choose a free hit team every single week that's different to your normal team, and so you're engaged. I mean, it'd be good all round. Like, it'd be so good. It's such a good idea. Managers would have to be engaged. If they're not engaged, they're not in the cup. It lets you pick a free hit team every week, which is interesting. So not only are they having conversation, because obviously FPL is just a marketing tool. They want you to play it because they want the Premier League to be bigger and more followed. So not only do you have your own team to manage, you have a free hit team to do every week, which is interesting. And also, like, content creators can make free hit videos every week. Bam, job done. And so there's more people watching. I'm telling you, it's a great idea. FPL, you can have that one for free. What do I think about Amazon's Q3 earnings? Stop moving very little in the aftermarket. Do you suspect the upside was already baked in? Absolutely, yeah. That's what I've been thinking about all day. Trouble with that is it distracts from the normal game. Does it matter though? Does it matter? Ultimately, FPL just want people talking about the Premier League. So I don't think it does detract from the normal game. I think it gives you something else. And the thing is, it could be voluntary, right? Could be voluntary, so that you only play it if you want to enter it. If you don't want to, you just want to concentrate on the normal season, job done. It's a completely separate team. Whatever you do in that has no effect on your normal team. Why does that... Okay. Maybe if I put that there... there's already the Sky game. Not many do that with FPL. Yeah, but the thing is, Sky's never going to be as big as FPL because... You have to have a betting account. I mean, like, FPL is there to promote the Premier League, right? It's just a marketing tool. Sky Game is just a marketing tool for you to start betting. That's the only reason Sky have a game. And that'll never be as big because it's locked to a certain amount of countries, whereas FPL is a free-for-all. So I think it'll be big. I'm telling you, it's a great idea. Jose Fernandez, just like Mourinho, but more pay or Bamford. If I had to bring one in now for longer term, yeah, maybe I'd bring in Bamford. But if I had more pay, I probably wouldn't be swapping. Kane or Son, who to choose for the long term? I'd actually say Son. I think he's cheaper. Kane has looked really good recently. Am I really loud? Hang on. Mike seems a bit loud. Kane's looked really good, but I just think Son, just for the money saving, because after game week 8, right, I'm telling you now, you're not going to be captaining a Spurs player for a while. I don't think so anyway. I'm going to be looking towards Salah and Sterling and De Bruyne, I think. So I think you go for the cheaper one, who on his day can score just as much. So I would stick with Son, personally. Maybe that would be a mistake. Jonathan Elliott. Martinez or McCarthy this week. You have both. So against... You got to go for the home guy. I think it's got to be Martinez. Don't have to think about that very long. That's a great idea. Would love a free hit team. There you go. Everyone go and tweet FPL. Tell them my idea. Job done. It will end up like FPL draft. I don't think it would. I think it'd be much... The problem with draft is there's no incentive to make transfers. You pick your team, you try and get some scraps, job done, no one really cares about it. With this, it's a free hit team every single week. That'd be fun. It's like daily. It's like daily. It's like weekly fantasy, but without having to make bets and stuff. Antonio, thoughts? Mane and Salah both in the team. I'm not sure. I don't get the Mane and Salah question. I think having Mane and Salah is fine if you want to go that route and spend your money that way. Antonio, let's wait and see if he's fit. I mean, I don't think Antonio is like definitely not a buy this week because he's playing Liverpool. But from game week 8, absolutely, yeah. Sky Fantasy is terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I quite like it. I quite like the captaincy change. I like that they've changed it now that you can put the captaincy in advance, so you don't have to go in and change it every day. But it will never be as big as FPL unless they open it up. Gorav, simplified. Watkins or Bamford the better pick for this week only? Ooh. Okay, next week in, Antonio in regardless. I know Leicester got some injuries, but I still think they're the better defensive team, even though Southampton have been doing well. But Leeds will create the way more chances you'd imagine than Villa. Oh, that's a tough one. I say the fixture says Watkins, but the team is Bamford. And Watkins has blanked every game, hasn't he, apart from that Liverpool one. For 1 week only, I'd probably go Bamford just about. Your hoodie is amazing. Bam, thanks very much. It doesn't even affect green screens, which is on the... It's, everyone's thinking about whether their hoodies affect green screens when they buy them, right? Watching on delay because I'm at work, but Antonio... At work, listening, good man. I read that West Ham are keeping their cards close to their chest and not saying anything until the presser. They absolutely are. I didn't put the captaincy video out because I didn't have it done long before I had to stream. So it's going out tomorrow at 10 a.m. But I've kind of said all this in the captaincy video. But yeah, it does seem like a bit of a shutdown on West Ham stuff. Don't know why. Hit that like button if you haven't already, by the way, and hit subscribe because why wouldn't you? No, I'm not running my transfer. I've got 2 free... I need to put this on screen somewhere, don't I? I've got 2 free transfers, so no rolling will be happening here. I'll probably be doing Reguilon to Chilwell, and I'll be really annoyed when Reguilon gets an assist. My squad value is 102.1. It's pretty good. If Antonio is partially fit, early transfer before the price rise for game week 8. So I'm telling you now, if Antonio doesn't... Stephen, I saw that the Athletic says that Antonio should be fit for the Liverpool game. Okay, well, that would be good. I'm telling you now, unless Antonio scores, like, even 1 might not be enough. If he scores 2 against Liverpool, then he might get a price rise. And, like, I know everyone, or it feels like everybody's been talking about Antonio for weeks and weeks and weeks, but... I don't think he's going to get so many transfers in for game week 8 where he's going to rise in price. Even if he does, his injury record at the moment and the amount of times he's coming off early, you definitely wait until the next press conference, I think. I'd happily pay an extra 0.1, although money is tight for what I'm thinking about doing long term. But I think you just pay it. Nikhil, thoughts on Zuma as a differential pick? As long as he keeps his pace, I really like him. He's already scored a couple of goals. I've actually got him in fantasy because he's much cheaper in there. But yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of knee jerking, right? But some of my opinions have not changed since pre-season. One of them is Chelsea defence will be good this year as long as they don't have Kepa. They don't have Kepa. Mendy's kept 4 clean sheets in 4. Obviously, he's not going to keep keeping a clean sheet every single game. But yeah, I like Zuma. I think he's probably second best behind Chilwell because he's about as nailed on as it gets. The only thing is, I'll say, and maybe there's some Chelsea fans in here who can kind of say different, but I feel like it probably is first choice Thiago Silva and Zuma now. But I wouldn't be surprised if the odd game if someone else comes in. That's the only thing I would say about Zuma. Like you pay the extra for Chilwell, you get a nailed on player. It's very rare that he's going to get rotated. Whereas Zuma, I just feel like slightly more chance for it to happen. But yeah, I've owned him since game week 1 in fantasy. He's been great. I feel like people are saying this hoodie's not great, by the way. It's just a cheap green plain hoodie. I feel like people are saying it's great, just so that I answer them now. Thomas, Antonio or bust, or Bowen if he is out for game week 8? I don't know if I'd be more likely to buy Bowen if Antonio is out. Maybe even less likely. But do I think Bowen's a good option? Yes, with or without Antonio. You could even double up. The fixtures are that good. Yeah, Chilwell, I've looked at that. He is looking to rise. Not today, though, right? Not today. I don't think so, anyway. Let me just quickly check. He's 72%. He could rise, but I'd hope they wouldn't put him up again tonight. Sean, Zuma is not nailed on. James plays though. You can't say Zuma is less nailed on than Reece James. No way. Sean, next few weeks, Mo and Morpay for Rashford, Zaha, Werner. Mo and Morpay for Rashford, Zaha, and Werner. I mean, I don't really see why you'd want to get rid of Mo Salah, to be honest. I mean, he's good captain for a lot of weeks coming up. So I certainly wouldn't be interested in Werner that much. I don't think. I don't really get it though. How Mo Salah and Morpay for Rashford? I guess it's Rashford or Zaha and Werner. I don't like that. I'd rather have a Mo Salah and Morpay, I think. Sorry, I'm late. I love the hoodie. Thanks very much, Brian. Should I start my own FPL YouTube channel? I tell you what. If you want to go and talk about FPL on YouTube, why would you not start a channel? Why would you not? What's the De Bruyne buyback strategy? Let's talk about it now. As FPL tips, as a Chelsea fan, go and follow him on YouTube. Zuma is first choice, but find the money for Chilwell if you don't have it. Yeah, I definitely prefer Chilwell. Nihao, thoughts on West Ham defenders? So here's what I'll say about West Ham defenders, right? Everyone's saying they're looking great. To be fair, they're looking pretty good, and their fixtures have been difficult, right? But here's what's happened. It's why people are very fickle. Villa was seen as a really good defensive team, and I do think they're pretty good. Like, they've done well for a while now. We should, they're not Man City, they're not Liverpool, they're not Chelsea, they're not Man United. But in the next tier down, Villa are doing pretty well, right, for their price. But then as soon as they lose against Leeds, it's like, oh, maybe Villa defense isn't good. West Ham are going to be the same. They're not going to suddenly be this powerhouse defensive team that keep loads and loads of clean sheets. But it could be good value for 4.5, and getting on them in game week 8 could be a good, option. Masuaku, Sufal, Cresswell, whoever it might be. But don't buy them expecting them to suddenly be amazing from here on out. But they have done well so far, and if 6 games is enough to say they're now great, then they're great. But I don't know if it is. Does that make sense? So I think they look okay, and I wouldn't begrudge anyone buying them. And I maybe even look myself, but I don't think they're. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they're not suddenly like Liverpool, Man City, basically. What watch am I wearing? I'm wearing a Garmin Vivo Active 4. It's telling me I've done nowhere near enough steps today. Aniket, how's it going? Robertson, Watkins for Ings, Kyle Walker-Peters. If I prefer Robertson and Watkins to Ings and Kyle Walker-Peters personally, if you're saying going that way. So I don't know if I would do that. Danny Ings has done well, don't get me wrong. He's still 8.5 though, isn't he? I feel like I prefer Robertson, especially this week. They're 4.5 for a reason. They'll do a job but don't expect the world. Exactly, yeah. That's probably a very long, as I always do, it was a long-winded way of saying exactly what you just summed up in a very short sentence. I was gonna. Oh yeah, someone asked me. I think it was Fozzie. I tell you what now. If anyone that says they like my hoodie, then ask a question. I'm definitely not answering that question. Right? Don't try and kiss up about the hoodie. It's so many people have said it now. I just don't believe you. I mean, it's just a plain green hoodie, right? Did I get one of those touchscreens so you don't have to use the mouse? No, look at Mark. Look at Mark, the streamer. I've thought about it. It's a stream deck, basically. It's an Elgato stream deck. I mean, I've got everything. I'm a bit like the Apple fanboys, but for Elgato, I've got everything else I got. I've got Elgato light, got an Elgato stand for my camera. I've got an Elgato to make the camera work. I've got an Elgato thing. Elgato? Yeah. So I might get one. I don't really change. If I was doing a podcast, maybe I don't really change scenes that much, so I can just mouse click. But they are good, especially for like gaming streamers. Sorry, okay. So here's a long-term plan or short-term plan, right? So I got 2 free transfers. So this week, Reguilon to Chilwell, right? This is what I was thinking about last night. I've been thinking about a Man United player, but I did knee-jerk last night. I think, Christ, I need Rashford. So Chilwell comes in for Reguilon. Now, yes, Reguilon doesn't need to be sold this week. I get it, but I've got 2 free transfers. So Chilwell comes in. I roll my other transfer, right? Looking good. Happy days. Rodriguez will be fine. We hope. Then next week, right? Antonio's fit. And this is where it gets a bit tricky. But let's say Antonio's fit. Bam. Morpay, West Ham, Antonio in. Now this week, Liverpool also play in Game Week 8 now. Remember, we're on 8. Try and keep up with this. Game Week 8, they play Man City away. So long-term plan, maybe I get rid of Trent, right? Now, it was going to be Castagna, but he's kind of put a bit of a spanner in the works. And I'm not saying I'm going to buy a Man United player, but I'm just going to put in a player around 5.5. So let's say Harry Maguire comes in. Don't worry, Harry Maguire probably doesn't make it into my team, although never say never. That leaves me with 2.4 million. So now we're coming into Game Week 9. Right? Game Week 9. Spurs have got Man City, but I'm not looking to get rid of them just yet. So Spurs stay. Okay? James Rodriguez or Grealish go. Whichever one. I don't know who. Maybe James. In comes Marcus Rashford. Right? So that's up until now. I'm into Game Week 9 and I've not taken a hit. And suddenly I have Antonio up front for Fulham. I got Rashford for West Brom. I've got Chilwell. I've got a defender. It's probably not Maguire. It was going to be Castagna, but who knows about him. I don't have to do the Trent move that week, right? Anyway, we're now into Game Week 10. And I've got 1 free transfer. Kane goes, because the fixture run is pretty difficult. I bring in a cheap striker. I don't know who it will be, but because everyone will go nuts at me. Let's say I put Bamford in. And then Grealish goes. So I take a hit. Maybe this week. And I get Sterling in. And then I have Sterling, Salah, Son, Rashford, and a cheap forward line. 1 million in the bank. Job done. Maybe Rashford captain in Game Week 9 for West Brom. And if you're wondering why I'm looking at taking Kane out, because I know people will be saying he's nailed, he's essential, he's so good. But look at Man City's fixture run. Burnley at home, Fulham at home, West Brom at home. Burnley, okay, maybe I don't need to do it in Game Week 10. Maybe I don't need to take the hit. But Fulham and West Brom at home are captain of all fixtures. And you just look at all these. They've got West Brom again here, Crystal Palace, Brighton. These are captain fixtures, right? So I want a Man City player. Whether it's Sterling or De Bruyne, I won't decide that till Game Week 10. And in Game Week 10, Spurs have Chelsea away, then they have Arsenal, then they have Palace, then they have Liverpool, then Leicester, then Wolves. It's tricky. Game Week 16, look, maybe I looked at how to bring them in. Yes, okay, maybe they've gone up in price. It'll be a bit more of a struggle. But that's a general plan. All right, I will get to the chat in a minute. Feels like you're up to Game Week 38. Here's the other plan, okay? I can't quite remember this one off the top of my head. So Chilwell still comes in, okay? This is some real-time tinkering. Chilwell still comes in. This is Game Week 7 this week. Game Week 8, Antonio still comes in. All right? And this is where things change slightly. Because in this week, I keep Trent. Right? So I've still got 2 free transfers going into Game Week 9. Son goes. I'm not sure about that, but Son goes for Rashford, who has West Brom. So he has West Brom, then Southampton, then West Ham, City, Sheffield United, Leeds. To be fair, after the West Ham game, it's not actually that easy. So I don't know if I want to get rid of Son. The Son comes in, and then I still do the Kane and Sterling move for free in Game Week 10. So in this way, I keep Trent, and I can do this for free. I can basically get any striker for 6.5, but I don't have Kane or Son. So that's what I'm thinking. And you out, thanks very much. Rashford, Chilwell for Trent, Pedence. Long term, I like that, yeah. So thanks very much. 6-1 says Son doesn't go anywhere in 3 game weeks. Yeah, he's not going anywhere in 3 game weeks. That's the whole point. 4-1 says 13 to 15 of your team will not be this team by game week 11. You just know it won't pan out like this. Yeah, no, fair enough. It might not, but yeah, I don't know. And the thing is, I know everyone is going to be saying, Kane, etc. has to stay. All right, but at what point are you captaining Kane here? Man City, no. Chelsea away, no. In fact, in game week 10, that's the only thing about Sterling, right? I don't think Sterling necessarily needs to be brought in against Burnley or De Bruyne because Salah has Leicester. So you could... Salah has Brighton away. So you could just captain Salah that week. So Man City's probably not as important, right? So I don't necessarily need to take the hit. I could save and then do Kane out for free. But yeah, I'm telling you now, after game week 8, the next time I want to captain Kane is game week 16. They're just never going to captain him for these fixtures. City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Palace. Whereas I will captain a Man City player, as long as they're doing all right. Fulham, West Brom, maybe Southampton, Newcastle. They're all fixtures you can captain them in. And then maybe you just switch back to Kane. Job done. One of Kane or Son needs to stay. Why? Why do they have to stay? Let me know in the comments. I finish above you every year. You should start a YouTube channel. How do price changes impact these plans? Well, for the first one, I had $1 million in the bank, so it's not too bad. More pay to Bamford or Robertson to Zuma and more pay to Ings? I mean, the second one depends on what other transfers you want to make. So obviously you lock yourself into a bit more money up front. More pay to Bamford probably sounds the better option, but it's hard to know about seeing the rest of your team. I'd probably say more pay to Bamford. Yeah, that's the other thing. With the first one, you get rid of James Rodriguez and Grealish, who could be really good value to get in Rashford and Sterling. Maybe that's not the best play. You need to plan around the captains as well. Exactly. Salah and Sterling basically rotate really well. So game week 10, Brighton away. Game week 11, Fulham at home. Game week 12, Salah, Fulham away. Game week 13, he's got Spurs. City have got West Brom at home. Game week 14, Man City have got Southampton away. Game week 14, Crystal Palace away. Okay, not that great. And then it's West Brom at home for Liverpool. Game week 16, Newcastle away or Everton away. So you go Newcastle away. Or you bring Harry Kane back. And bam, you got Fulham at home. It's so easy. It's so easy. What more could you want? And I ain't overthinking captain, right? Salah, Sterling, De Bruyne. I'm happy with that. Only bad thing about those moves is dropping Trent. All it takes is to get off the market. Suddenly people start to panic. Yeah, possibly. And I'm not saying I wouldn't panic. That's for sure. I'm telling you now, right? Everyone's saying you have to keep Kane, you have to keep Son. It's very easy to say that when they've got Brighton and West Brom. Of course I'm keeping them for those two fixtures. This, I don't know. Are they going to punish us? Maybe they will. There's a counter-attacking team now, Son in behind. Maybe he's the one to keep. Am I sure Rashford outperforms Son? Not necessarily. I don't know how sure I am about Rashford. The thing with Rashford is that game week 9 fixture just looks so good. Like game week 9, 10 and 11 is West Brom, Southampton, West Ham. So West Brom, Southampton, West Ham versus City, Chelsea, Arsenal. So it is a bit of a punt. I do think the money could be an issue because I've already made... So Kane will cost me 0.2 to get back. And any other price range. So obviously if he keeps doing well in hard fixtures, he'll keep going up. And Son would also cost 0.2. But how many points have I gained, I'm not saying I'm definitely going to do this, but that is a plan I've thought about in advance, right? There could be other injuries to do. Surely on the present data, Kane outscores Salah and De Bruyne. Yeah, no. Why? Why would he? The present data shows that expected goal involvement is very close between Salah and Kane, and Salah's a midfielder. If the Spurs duo do really well in the next few weeks, it becomes hard to ditch them. But the thing is, they are going to do well. Why would they not do well? It's Brighton and West Brom. As someone said, knowing when to get off a player is as important as when to get on. And again, I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not saying even I will do it. But that is not a good fixture run for anyone. Right? For anyone. And you're telling me Man City against Fulham at home, West Brom at home. I know where my money would be on who's going to score more. With the value tied up in players and the inevitable drop-off in interest in December onwards, selling currently high-owned players may be a problem when you want them back. Yeah, and look, I tell you, there's more to it than just looking at the fixtures, right? Kane and Son are nailed on. They are nailed on to play week in, week out. Very rare they're going to be rotated or anything like that. You're bringing you're bringing Sterling or De Bruyne. You can't say the same thing, right? You just cannot say the same thing. So, yeah, no, I'm not saying it's straightforward. I know, like, I just made it sound like it's easy, and I really like the comment that said, "Let's just fast forward to the end. Andy will win it." Perfect. I'd love to win it. Spurs can do well again. Yeah, look, I'm not saying Spurs are just not going to score any goals in those fixtures, right? I'm just going to say they're going to probably score less than they have been in the good fixtures. And hopefully, City will have really good fixtures and their points will go up. Or I trade them both out, everyone keeps them, they're really high owned, they go on to smash it, job done. But what I will say is, where the risk kind of lessens a little bit, who's captaining them here, right? Even if you say to me, which I've already seen in the chat, Kane's record in London derbies is great, right? Well, game week 11, he plays Arsenal at home. Yeah, okay, maybe you can score that. In game week 11, though, Liverpool got Wolves. Okay, that's pretty tricky. Man City got Fulham, right? You're telling me that you're going to back Kane's record against Arsenal when Sterling and De Bruyne have got Fulham at home? And this is what I'm saying. The fact that no one will captain them, it means the risk is less. Here, right, Fulham at home, Leeds at home, Villa away. That's a bit more tricky. People will captain them then, and I'd probably want them back. Anyway, there you go. That's a long time to talk about that. Morgan, how's it going? No way Rodriguez to miss for testy injury. Yeah, testicle injury apparently, according to Talkswell. I don't know how much I trust them, but there you go. Vardy for game week 10, 11, 12 has to be one to watch. Fulham, Sheffield United, Brighton. Yes, absolutely. I just think I'd probably back Man City more, I think. Where do Chelsea assets fit in? Exactly. Where do they fit in? Who knows? Look, this is all speculative. Most of you watching are going to have been playing FPL for a long time. Most of the time, a plan barely lasts 2 weeks, let alone 3 or 4. So yeah, if Chelsea start firing, they come into the equation. But I think in both scenarios that I did, the one where I get rid of Son for Rashford, then Pulisic could come in for Rodriguez or Grealish. The one where I get rid of Son, well, okay, fair enough. Then it's a toss-up. Do I go for Rashford? Do I go for Chelsea? But if you look at Chelsea's fixture run, like defensively, I think the next 3 look good. But I don't think... I mean, look at this fixture run. Burnley, Spurs, Leeds, Everton, Wolves. I don't think it's that great for attacking returns. Now, if they suddenly click and really start firing, then sure. But as it stands right now on paper, this is not even like coming down here. Look at this. Arsenal, City, Leicester. Like, they don't have a really, really great run for a while. So, I'm not writing them off, right? I'm not saying I won't get them in, but yeah, there you go. I saw the Rodriguez super chat. Oh, sorry, Saif, thanks very much. 1 free transfer, Barnes, Foden, or Trent to a Chelsea. Is that Barnes to Foden or Trent to? So here's what I would say is, if you're looking at Trent to Chilwell, I wouldn't do it unless you need the money this week. I would just hold it. Reassess next week. The only thing is, Chilwell might rise in price again. So Barnes to Foden would probably be the better one if you really want to do it for this week. Otherwise, just roll, I think. I swear, can you answer me? I've been asking the same question for 45 minutes. Well, it is an important question. Kyle Walker-Peters or Dallas? That is the big questions. Big questions. I'd go for the one that you think is going to keep a clean sheet. That's all I'm saying. Why do people watch this? Why do people watch this? Am I doing a deadline stream? Yes. I'd play Dallas. Alright, I'd play Dallas. Considering the upside you're looking for, does selling Trent make more sense than keeping him? Those funds could be better used in the attacking players you're considering. To be honest with you, right, I gotta be honest, I don't think what I've just talked about for about half an hour, so I apologise. I don't think it's upside chasing. For me, like, when people think of upside... Oh, I've got loads of drink now, which is good. I'm so mouth dry. I think a lot of the times when people think of upside chasing, right, they're thinking of late risers. So they're thinking of, I don't know, everyone's captaining Harry Kane. Aguero's just back from injury. He's about to play Fulham. Upside chasing, I'll get Aguero in and I'll captain him. To me, looking at Spurs fixtures and seeing that they're bad and that you won't captain them, to bring in City players with great fixtures because you will captain them, that's not upside chasing. That's just FPL, right? There's nothing inherently clever about that. So I don't think I would sell Trent just because he's well owned and that could be upside chasing. If I need the money, job done. If I don't, I'll keep him. For now, because it's West Ham at home. If Antonio's not playing, great. Being this FPL lot, when do we get FIFA? I'll tell you now, I'll stream FIFA as soon as I get fibre. Job done. You see how bad I am. Kane loves scoring against Leicester, has 16 goals in 14. Great captaincy choice in game week 14. So, I mean, that you're now thinking about keeping Kane because of a game week in 7 weeks' time. And yes, he does play Leicester, right? Liverpool play Crystal Palace, okay, not great. City against Southampton could be decent. Chelsea got West Ham. In this week, okay, maybe there's not a standout, but I'd still back City against Southampton, I think, over Spurs versus Leicester. No matter how, like, I don't really care how many goals Kane has scored in a previous fixture. It doesn't like how, not just Kane, but these X players scored X amount of goals in however many fixtures. Whatever, like, it doesn't really affect my thing. It's different teams now, different managers. Would you burn the two? I'm never burning the 2 free transfers. It's lagging a bit, yeah. Well, that is my streams in a nutshell. Do hit the like button if you haven't already, and please do hit subscribe. I would say I don't usually ramble on about rubbish, but I absolutely do. Quick shout out to the patrons. If you haven't checked me out on Patreon, there's a link in the description below. There's a Q&A going up live, not live, there's a Q&A going up tomorrow morning. There's Slack access, there's WhatsApp access, there's early team reveals, there's podcasts created from all these videos. If you want to check it out, link in the description below. We're getting closer to like 175, 200 patrons now. So thanks very much to everyone that's signed up. It is hugely appreciated. It's just going to let me do more and more on this channel. Big shout out to basically everyone that's signed up as well. So everyone that does gets up on the Legends Wall. This is in order of when you signed up, by the way. So if your name's early on the list, that's the earlier you signed up. So thanks very much to everyone that is already signed up. And obviously I'll give a shout out to anyone that signs up new by tomorrow's stream. Deadline stream tomorrow. Happy days. Answer me. All things equal, would you go Bruno or Rashford? What do you mean all things equal? What do you mean? I don't know what that means. Like, if the price was the same, blah, blah, blah. I'd go Rashford, I think. But I just think the difference between Salah and Mane at the start is that they were the same price. It was easy to go for Salah. Between Bruno and Rashford, there's a million difference, right? So if we get running games with no penalty, I prefer Rashford. The annoying thing about the stream now is it's showing a good connection, but it's still lagging. Oh, now it's gone bad again. I hate it. I hate it so much. Castane's to chill out. Yeah, Castane's definitely out. It looks like a good option. We were all watching a stream about game within a game with a host who sits on the fence. Am I sitting on the fence? About everything? I don't think I am. What have I sat on the fence about? Come on, hit me up with a question. I'll give you a straight answer. Aren't West Ham doing good recently considering the hard fixtures? Yes. Why Salah captain? Because he's one of the best players in the whole damn game. I feel like, honestly, constantly we are looking for an I've left both lights on, that's not good. Constantly we are looking for an excuse not to captain Salah. It's so interesting. I tell you what, I am literally not sat on the fence. I am sat on a chair. You've become very annoying. Okay. Like, if I've become very annoying, that's absolutely fine. That is your opinion. But you are the one that is choosing to spend your time watching. I find that very, very strange indeed. Ni hao, how's it going? Do you prioritise fixtures or form for wildcard? You have to do both. Like, I hate... Honestly, I don't like that is it fixtures or is it form. It is never that straightforward, ever. It's never just fixtures or form. It's both, right? Always both. Yeah, it's always both because I don't know. Let me. I don't know if I can give you a good example right now, but if a player's had really bad fixtures, they've not done well, and they suddenly have great fixtures, you could bet on the fixtures, right? You don't just take it into form into account. If they've got a couple of harder fixtures followed by some good ones coming, and they're in good form, you could keep them. So I don't think. I mean, ultimately, probably fixtures more than form, but I don't think you can just do one. Who's better, Joe? Who's bigger, Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday? Well, I mean, there's only one in the Premier League. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You're an FPL pro. I mean, that's not true. I just like to talk about FPL, and people like to listen. You'd rather a bad answer than I don't know. Look, to be honest, I've always been the same. If I don't know, I say I don't know. Or if it's close, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. I'll try to anyway. Would you rather win 10 grand or win FPL? I'd rather win FPL. I'd tell you now that'd be worth more money than 10 grand, I'd say. People don't want to captain Salah because he's boring and all news. They want the new shiny thing. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Would I consider writing an FPL rap? Not creative enough. Not creative enough. I can see the future. The future is bright for a guy called Patrick Bamford. I've said it all along. Jack, how's it going? Man U fans are the most popular in the game, hence the constant downplaying of pool assets. Rivalry is hard to ignore. The unconscious bias we all have. It's like AS and Palace assets. Interesting, never thought of it like that. I don't think it's necessarily true that it's all Man United fans. I think it's more to do with what someone else said, or I've lost the message now, about the fact that he's just boring, right? Oh, it's Salah again this week. Oh, it's Salah again next week. But FPL is boring sometimes. You have to make boring picks. How many wins this weekend, Lee? I mean, I only got 11 last week. Who knows? I got a better team this week, though. Team's looking pretty good. We'll do a few more questions. I must admit, sometimes the Thursday streams drag a little bit just because sometimes on Thursday stream nothing's really changed throughout the week, and so you've talked about it a lot. You've talked about it on Sunday, but I've loved tonight. I don't know why. I always like doing it, but sometimes I don't know. Feels like we just don't really talk too much. But even though I always talk a lot, I've liked today's stream. It's been good. And everyone that's watching that thinks I'm boring or hates the stream, thanks for spending your time watching it. It's amazing. To have that little else to do that you watch something you don't like. It's amazing. What's the problem with Semedo? Don't think there is many problems, is there? It is possible to disassociate yourself from club loyalties. Doesn't half improve your scores. Yeah, it's difficult though at times. I mean, I've got to be honest, right? In game week, if I need to downgrade Trent and Tellers has played a couple of games, I'll tell you now, I might want to get a new Man United player in. CW, thanks very much. Is Fernandes a choice for the future? I'm still not sure about his price, but for game week 9, for about three game weeks, he got a pretty good fixture run. Every stream is like Christmas Eve. Wow, Christmas Eve. That is an endorsement. Everyone loves Christmas Eve. Am I thinking about getting De Bruyne in anytime soon? So I've spoken quite a lot about when I'm thinking about getting Man City players in. Whether it be De Bruyne or Sterling, I don't know. I'm tempted to go Sterling, but maybe that's because I had De Bruyne before and I just want something different. Do I think my team has too many doubles and triples? Not really. Not really. I mean, no one was saying Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin was a bad double up until last week. Kane and Son has been fine. I mean, Reguilon okay, but he's going to be Chilwell probably this week. Apart from Grealish and Martinez, okay, I've got triple Brighton, but 2 of them are on the bench. So I don't think it's a big issue. Sorry, yeah, it says I've got 13 game week points because I didn't change it from Sunday. And after Sunday, obviously Son and Kane hadn't played yet. I've got to say, I don't say this often enough, right? But I genuinely love doing this. I was thinking about it earlier that sometimes I think I take for granted that I do FPL stuff for a living. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And honestly, you guys have really kind of made that happen. Like watching these streams all the way from when they were kind of low watched to getting a bit bigger. It's getting even bigger now. It's just, honestly, it's been great. So I know I joke around with people who just don't like it, and I shouldn't really feed the trolls, but it's just funny sometimes. And there's so many people that do like it. Obviously, it massively outweighs. So I do really appreciate it, especially like everyone that signed up to Patreon. Like, you don't realise how much that helps. And like that is going to be the catalyst to doing bigger things on this channel. Is having that kind of buffer from Patreon is going to let me. Yeah, I've got plans anyway for this channel. There's stuff I really want to do in the future. So yeah, I just want to say thanks. I don't know why. It's been a great stream tonight. I've really enjoyed it. Even though it's just been me rabbiting on about selling Kane, which no one wants to do. Yeah, sorry, you did miss a message in your donation. CEW. I heard as well. It's really well. 2 free transfers don't really want to do anything. Would you do Alzate to Basuma? Do I prefer another 4.5 to 5 midfielder? I always prefer having the cheap as possible on the bench. So getting in Basuma could be a good move if you've really got nothing else to do. So I think I've caught all the rest. We're going to have to stop in a sec, by the way. So we can go in an hour. Honestly, it's flu tonight. It's absolutely flu. How much have I drank? Nothing. Honestly, I've just had water. A few Coke Zeros earlier. Lucas, 2 free transfers. Downgrade Sice to Kilman. The thing is, look, fine, you could do that. But there's no. What if Sice plays the next game and Kilman doesn't? And look, I know people want me to not sit on the fence, but I do not know about Sice and Kilman. I just do not know, and I can't really help you. I personally, I would look for something else to do and hope that Sice plays the next game. Dan Whitehead, thanks very much. I'm sure you've probably meant to put a message in there, so I'll try and keep an eye out for it, but it's difficult to find in all the chat. Looks like you really love Basuma. You even kept on your wildcard. I just think he's probably one of the best 4.5s. Nothing more to it, to be honest. Plan for the future, better internet. Oh man, honestly, I will just drink beer all day when I get better internet. I'm still chasing it, right? I'm not going to bore you with what's going on, but I have someone from a company asking the wholesalers if they can give me fibre. The answer is going to be no, but at least the hope is there for another week. Win a Patreon slot in live chat. Best or funniest question? I've thought about giving away some Slack access. Yeah, we'll see. Loving the stream. Thanks very much. Loving doing it. Why do I think that Fernandes is overpriced but De Bruyne isn't? I just think De Bruyne will get enough returns for his price, and I'm happy to captain him. I don't really see me captaining Fernandes too much. Okay, I think I don't have a podcast. Maybe in the future. There's so many good podcasts in there already. Like, do we really need another one? I think if I did a podcast, I would want to do it with someone else. Like, FPL General does his really well on his own. But I just... And obviously I do streams and videos on my own. I'm more than... It's not like I'm uncomfortable doing it. But I just think... for a podcast, I like doing it, like, you know, back and forth with someone else. So yeah, maybe at some point. I mean, I literally convert all these videos to podcasts for Patreon because I'm still not convinced about putting them onto podcasts for the public because I just don't think they work very well as podcasts. But if people really want to listen to them, I do put them on Patreon. But yeah, again, there's a long way of saying no, I don't have a podcast, but I don't know. I've thought about it. Let's just say that. Doi, here's a half pint legend. Thanks very much. Oh, that's a pint. That is. That's a couple of cans in the supermarket. That's the only kind of good thing right now. You can't go to the pub, but you can get cheaper beer in the shop. You know. Thanks very much, Doi. Really appreciate it. Am I the biggest FPL content creator? Nah, I think there's a couple of channels that got more subs. I think I'm probably the most watched at the moment, though, just with the sheer amount of stuff I'm putting out. Okay. I saw someone ask me about burning a transfer or not. I like the porridge joke, by the way, Jack. Very good. I do like porridge as well. What are the plans of the channel for the future? I don't want to go into it. And I know it's really annoying because everyone says, oh, I'm planning for the future and there's stuff coming, but I can't share it. I don't really have anything coming. I have ideas. What I will say is I don't know if there is much more I can do that I'm already doing without it just being massively repetitive. Because even now, some of it is the same with certain videos. But yeah, there's some stuff I could do, I think, extra that I'm not doing already. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. It's been over an hour. It's been the longest Thursday stream for a while, I would say. Please do give the video a like if you have enjoyed it. I know I have, but I can only like the video once. So yeah, it'd be much appreciated. Like, it really does help out. You've been doing it loads this season. So please do hit that button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe as well if you're new around here. I'll be doing a deadline stream tomorrow. By the way, the deadline for Friday next week is ridiculous. So tomorrow it'll be 5:30 till 6:30. The next week is going to be 3 till 4 because the deadline for Gameweek 8 is 4 o'clock UK time on Friday. So please do not forget about that. So yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go and check out Patreon if you haven't already. If you want to support me a bit further, link in the description below. There's a bit of extra content out over there. Slack access, early team reveals once I've made my transfers and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, yeah, please do. Please do it. Every little helps. I'm going to go and say hello to the family, I guess. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Captaincy video is out at 10 o'clock. Deadline stream at 5:30. Then that's it. We're done for Game Week 7. We hopefully have a good week. We move on. I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Good evening. Goodbye. Good evening. Can you say good evening to end? I guess you can. Hope you have